So basically the theory is that Aemond is the father of Helena's children, not Aegon. There are a few hints at this in season 1 of House of the Dragon, which I will go over now. The first hint at this is in episode 7, Driftmark, which is centered around Rhaenyra Targaryen's funeral. Aegon is complaining to his younger brother Aemond that he has to marry their sister Helaena. This is their exact conversation.
She's our sister.
You marry her then.
I would perform my duty, if Mum had only betrothed us.
If only.
Now, they are still pretty much children at this point, but I think what Aemond says here, I would perform my duty if Mother had only betrothed us, says a lot. That he wouldn't mind marrying her, which means he does have some sort of feelings towards her. The next hint at Helaena and Aemond possibly being together comes in episode 8. This is 6 years after the events of the last episode. King Viserys wants to have a big family dinner. He knows he does not have much time left and wants to make the most of it. At this dinner, Helaena makes a toast to her cousins who will marry her nephews soon, she says. We kind of get an insight into her and Aegon's marriage. There is no love there. They are simply together because their mother made it so. Aegon had no interest in her when he was younger and still doesn't. Yes, I'm sure he still performs his husbandry duties every once in a while, but we know Aegon is a drunk and a womanizer. He would rather spend his time with whores than his own wife. In episode 9, more of this is confirmed. We see one of Aegon's bastard sons, and Sir Eric, his sworn shield, says one of many, I wager. Aegon has never taken his status and birthright seriously, so having kids with his wife wouldn't be very high on his things to do. In the same episode, we get another hint at the distance between Aegon and Helaena. Alicent and Otto are looking for Aegon. This is right after Viserys' death. They enter a room where Helaena is with her children. They ask her where Aegon is. He's not in his room. She simply says he is not here. She almost seemed a little shocked by the question, as if she knows the comings and goings of the prince. Later in that scene, Aemond arrives in the room. Helaena kind of seems happy to see him, but then she remembers her mother is there and suppresses her emotions. Now, Aemond went to see her without being called upon. He was just going to visit her. Granted, that could just be him being a good brother, or it could mean there is something more between the two. Later in the episode, at the Dragon Pit, where Rhaenys busts open the floor with her dragon melees, Helaena did not run to Aegon or any other Kingsguard members. She stayed with Aemond. Now, is that because Aemond is a very skilled fighter and she knew her best chance of survival would be with him? Or was it because she thought she was going to die and she wanted to be next to him? It's hard to say. I know there's a lot of reaching in this theory, that it's putting together things that may not be there, but nevertheless, I thought it would be interesting to look into it. You may be wondering if there's any references to this in the books that the show is based on, Fire and Blood, and unfortunately there is not. But that does not mean it's not going to happen. Helaena is a dragon dreamer in the show, which basically means she has foresight. She can predict the future. That's why we see her mumble to herself strange things. I explain more of this in another video, link in the description below. But her being a dragon dreamer is never mentioned in the books, that she was capable of this thing. Another thing to remember about the books is that it reads more like a history book versus a regular novel. Fire and Blood consists of different accounts talking about the same subject, and these accounts are not the most reliable. They come from the maester at the time and a court jester. So of course these two aren't going to know everything about the inner secrets of the family.